Hi friends, welcome. We'll continue to learn our SQLite database management in our PHP environment. Now we'll learn how we'll insert records to the table, and in that way we'll get the what is the last inserted row ID. At the same time, we'll also learn how to take the parameterized query to prevent the injection attack. But before we move, my request is please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you'll be notified as and when we add tutorials, and we are frequently doing that also. Let's start the script. In the previous tutorial, we have studied how to update the records. So this is the page you have used, and here in the left side it is our Visual Studio Code. Right side we have our browser. So whatever changes is there, we can just refresh this page and see the result. But this update page will save it as insert.php and work on it. File. Now I am using here. Save as, I am just saying insert.php. let me overwrite it. Fine. So this here I will remove all those update commands whatever I had up to this point. Let me delete it. So I have the config file where we had declared our connection string, that we will be using it, and in the menu whatever we are seeing, there it is. Now I will add our insert page also. So file, open file. Now I am opening the menu here. So I will enter here. This is update. Now I will say insert. One more menu item I am adding. One more file, insert.php. So we can easily go there and insert our record. So here it is. Now in this insert, I have saved this. So this I will just once again I am clicking display. So I have this insert. But now if I'll click this, nothing will happen. Total 0. Sorry, this I have not saved it. Let me just insert again. Fine. Okay. So this is the blank page here. Here we will start it. So this insert page we can refresh it. So let's start with writing our statement. stmt equal to, now here my connection. Where I got it, my connection. That is, let me just open it. File, open file. Inside this config, here is our database connection. My connection is declared here. So this connection is, if it is successful, connection is successful is coming. At the top right side you can see connection is successful is displayed here. If you don't want this, you can comment this line also. Let me just come here. Here I have require config and then the menu. So here this connection object, my connection, I am using. Now because I am writing a query here, so I am giving a prepare statement. So inside this I will write my insert query. So insert into student is my table name. So it has already, the table is existing. So there are 5 columns: ID, name, class, mark and gender. So these 5 columns I will be using. Insert into students. Now let me just give it, sorry, not here, student. I will put it this. Okay, so here I will say ID column is auto increment, so I'll leave that one. What is auto increment and all, we will see later, because in this field all other 4 data, name, class, mark and gender, I will supply. So once a record is inserted, the ID column will this SQLite database will give. So that ID will display. It is like incremental student ID. We don't input to the system, but system will give it to us. So like a roll number and a student ID, hostel ID, employee number. These are all usually used as auto increment ID. So let me just select name, class, mark, then gender. So these are the ones. Now I am coming to the next line, values. What are the values for this? Let me just specify A, B, C, because directly I am giving. Let me close the bracket, otherwise name, class is, let's say 4. How much mark I will give you? 70. Then female. So this is the gender I have given. Now my query ends here. So now what I will do, I will execute this query. So if statement execute, if it will return me true or false. So if it is true, that means the data is inserted. So let me just else. means there is something is wrong, some error is there. So for that I will say print r. So I will say here my connection error info. What is the error? It will tell me. So I am writing it here. I can give a customized information also, echo data error. Fine. So up to this point it is okay. Now once it is data is inserted, I will say echo record added. Now what is the ID? What the record is added just now, I told you we are giving a 4 columns. The ID column database will return us. That is the auto increment. It's a unique ID. Automatically it adds one and return to us. So that way we'll get the ID value here. So that I will add it here. How I will get that one? So I will say my connection last insert ID. So this will give me the what is the last record, what record I have added. That's the confirmation of the ID. Suppose I have 35, or the last record has 35 ID. I have added one more record, then that will be the 36. So that way fine. So let me just save this and run it again. I am just clicking the insert again. So let's just see, record added, record number is 40. Now so that means you can see here this the record 40 is there. This is what it is returning. This particular part is returning. Now if once again I will click the insert, one more record is added. Now this is 41. Here the name, class, mark, gender, all these remain same, but the ID changes to 41. So that is the reason last insert. But here it is that here we had directly inserted A, B, C, 4, 70 and female. We have not used a parameter. In the real life situation, what will that user will tell the name, or you will enter what's the class, what's the mark and all, user will enter. So once the user enters, we have to take care of injection attack. So we'll use parameterized query for that. That we'll see next. Let's take 4 variables. So here I am just pasting the values here. So name, mark, then class, gender. So these are the variables. Usually I have just given the values here. Usually this comes from a query string or from a database, but from some other process we receive this data. So that's why the injection attack chance is more, because whoever uses this can inject any other code also. So I am just here taking the variables, but remember that these values can come from any other sources, from query string or from post method, get method, from a form where user can enter any data. Now let me just prepare my prepared statement. So here it is. Now instead of directly using it, I will use the placeholders. So for that I will use it name. This is a placeholder. So this name I will replace it with the value, what the name variable is there. So name, now I am saying again my class. This name I can change it to any value, but the same thing I have to bind at the bind. We'll see that. So then the mark, then gender. So here the placeholders are there. Now I have to bind this parameter. So for that what I have to do is statement. Now I will say bind parameter. Now first one I am saying the name. So here it must be same as what I am writing it here, because this is the place, this is where I am binding that placeholder to the value. If I am writing name 1 here, is not necessarily I should write name here. So here I have to write name 1. Name 1. Now the value, which value should go there? So I am giving name. Fine. So this is the name where it is line number 4 I have declared it. Now the PDO constant, telling what type it is. PDO 2 columns. Now param. Now this is, I am saying str means it's a string. So what is the length of it? I am giving 25. So you can, based on what maximum length, allowed length, you can take it here. So let me just copy this, because another 3 more I have to use. 1, 2, 3 more values are there. So next, after name I am using class. I am straightway writing class. This is also a string, but I don't expect it to be 25. I am putting it length as string. Now next is class, then I am using mark. So here it is mark. Now this placeholder mark, this mark is here. So I am giving variable is mark here. Now mark is a integer, so int, and I am not expecting more than 3. Now the last one I will take it is gender. So gender here. Now the variable gender here. So is a thing, and okay, here this also I am expecting 10. So fine, record added, lest everything remains the same. So now it is the whatever user enters the value, that will be as a parameterized query. This will be going to the table. Now let me just insert this record. Yeah, it is, I got 42 now. So this is all. Now once more I will run it. So I should get 43. So I go on increasing. Note that these values can come from, here the variables I have used, but these values can come from any other sources. That's all, friends. Hope you have a good learning experience. And if you have any doubts, suggestions, questions, use the comment section below to post it. And my request is please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you'll be notified as and when we add tutorials, and we are frequently doing that also. Please share this video with your friends, and thank you for watching.